Balls are a really important part of the London season for the beau monde, for fashionable society, because they're basically a very fancy private party.
We're at the first ball of the season, hosted by Lady Danbury, that's me. We've got chandeliers here worth millions, that's how fabulous it is. And it's my house.
Powerful women like Lady Danbury organise a guest list, but there might be up to 1,000 guests, and it's a night of high glamour, intrigue and excitement. So most of these big London houses had a ballroom like this that could accommodate really 1,000 people, and they'd be decorated especially for the evening. New art would be brought in, people would hire in flowers and other kinds of decorations.
Something that I had no idea actually happened until I came on board this show, which is that sometimes in Regency balls they would get the staff to chalk and will hand paint a decorative motif on the floor of the dance floor.
So it might feel like a private event, but information would gradually leak out afterwards. So newspapers would report on who'd been invited. There might even be information leaked about who'd been seen dancing particularly closely together. So gradually society becomes aware of engagements that might be on the horizon. It's an important element of the marriage market because it's a time when men and women can spend time together, they can have a bit of a conversation, they can get to know each other, and it might be the start of an engagement or a flirtation.
I mean, I understand it was an important part of society. You would not catch me peacocking for male attention quite in this way, ever. A bit traditional, a bit ridiculous, but like, how fun is it to go back in time and play that out?
It's the first time that we've had everyone in a room together with a load of supporting artists, with a load of dancers, like introducing yourself to people that you've not met before, dancing with people you've not met before. So it's a really nice vibe on set today to have everyone involved.
Society is going to judge you on how you look, who you talk to, but also how well you dance. Now the key is the number of dances that you might do with one individual gentleman or lady. If it's your first ball of the season, you probably want to dance with a sequence of men. You have a dance card, so you can organise that, keep control of whose turn it is next. But if there's one guy who's really caught attention, then it's the two dancers that you're after.
I was really anxious about doing the dancing. I remembered all the moves, so did Colin. And I think we all just sort of fell into it, really. It's all muscle memory. I'm really happy with how it went.
It's really lovely seeing the boys dance and dance so well. Like, both Lukes are doing such a great job. I mean, we've been really, really blessed. Everyone is super, super lovely, really sound, good human beings.
The dance has been great, like really supportive. It just sort of goes to show how great Jack and his team were, because there was a point when it was just like Luke jumped straight in, and everyone I danced with was like, turn left, go right. And once we'd done it once for rehearsal, it was fine. We had the same dancers for this in the Danbury Ball as we had at Vauxhall Pleasure Gardens as well. So it's kind of nice, there's a bit of rapport. We know them well enough for them to be like, dude, it's this bit at this point, rather than like everyone's, separate. It's not too separate.
Okay? Yeah. So what we've already done is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Right, we good? Let's walk it twice, shall we?
And my job is to make sure the actor feels comfortable enough that they can breathe, so that they can connect to their inspiration, so they can be playful. It's about them, it's not about me. Being a movement director, it doesn't matter how well I can dance or how well I can move, or vice versa. It's about how well they move and connect to the work. When I read the script, the first thing I'm doing is, who is in the dance? What could they possibly dance that reflects their character? I take it from the character, I take it from the situation, so I try to get a marriage between the character and what is the emotion and the situation. I've been working now, I think it's for about 31 years, and I'm really proud of that. I can honestly say, and in my interview I said I would kill to this job.
Danny, connect with her. Yeah.
The ball that we're filming this evening is the ball that takes place at Vauxhall Pleasure Gardens, and it's really, really fantastic that it's in the first episode because we have a contrast. The most fantastic thing about this ball is the contrast to the Danbury ball, which is the first ball, which is an invited ball, and you know, the only people that get to go to that are the people that Lady Danbury likes, the in crowd. This ball is a public ball. If you can pay your penny, you can go. You get a very different crowd, and therefore you get a very different vibe. The vibe of this ball is all about curiosity, and it's all about newness, and it's about having an experience that we all want to have when we're at that age, when we're 19, when we're 20, when we're 21, making discoveries. A bit like the lovers in A Midsummer Night's Dream when they go off into the woods and make discoveries about themselves. That's exactly what's happening to Daphne here.
This is the festival that I will be going to. This is the only festival, but I love it.
We're doing the scene where the Bridgertons enter the Vauxhall Gardens for the first time, and Daphne's a little bit on edge at this point because she hasn't found herself a suitor. When you read the scripts, you can only imagine what it's going to be like. You have a certain image, but actually being here and seeing it all, and, I mean, it's amazing. It's overwhelming, yeah.
Well, I'm pretty excited to be his historian because Vauxhall Pleasure Gardens is one of the most exciting and romantic entertainment resorts in Regency England. There were fireworks, there was dancing, there was food and there was drink, but there was a lot of romance as well. So there's something really thrilling about being outside in the warm summer's evening, watching the sun come down, and then seeing the gardens illuminated all of a sudden. There was something just so transporting about this place that it was incredibly famous around the world. Feels like I've time travelled back this evening to Vauxhall with all of these amazingly beautiful Regency people having the time of their lives.
Rolling, quiet please.
It's outside, it's a public ball, so the situation is easy because we're not in a studio. We're given so many of the circumstances, and for this we wanted to kind of look at something that was really quite dramatic because it's fast and earthy.
Can you meet Regé Phoebe? You're dancing with them. Wonderful. Thank you. Good, now just good, that's it. There you go. There, hello! Dancers, if you're not being made up or checked, could I see in your first positions, please?
Yeah, Jack's been amazing. Like, he has really went deep with like our characters and the intention behind everything, which as dancers we don't always get.
You're curious about it, should have a curiosity about it. The very first time maybe you did a street dance, that you did it outside. The very first time you ever did a tap routine when you were 6. You know, whenever you did something like that for the very first time, it's new, it's fantastically new and exciting.
It's because he's giving us the reason behind our action.
Yeah, so that's pointless dancing.
Yeah.
Why we're doing it, not just how to do it.
Gets you into the situation very quickly and also gives you the motivation to do what you're doing rather than just being told what to do.
It's fun like playing with everyone, and it's so intimate, like you really have to like engage and look at people in the eye, which can sometimes be kind of hard if you're not in the right mood for it. You kind of get the goods but no, it's nice, like it's really nice to like connect with like the people that you're working with in this way, because the dancing's so subtle, it's like all in like the feeling and stuff. It's cool. I feel like it's really brought everyone like really close. We've all got really nice bond with each other because we've had to break that boundary of really like connecting with each person in the room.
Give it a run, never give it a run. Give it a run, never give it a run.
Because it is period dancing, but it's like with a slight darker, sexy twist.
You just go, oh my God, this is actually happening, like, isn't it? How big this is. Because you can surround the place with green screen and you're not looking at it. And suddenly you turn up and you're just transported there, really, aren't you? I get to see parts of England I never would have seen before in my life.
It's fantastic, because it's fantastic. Look, what's not to love? When we were driving into there's this little crescent, bright red moon as well, so it's very romantic and lovely.
Background, action.
really overwhelmed in a good way.
With like 300 extras. You're amazing.
The only thing is that we've got a lot of hair products in because of the Regency Bouffant. There's a lot of naked flames, so watch the space.
Balls are a way of maintaining the exclusivity of the aristocratic networks that made up the beau monde. They were run by very glamorous and powerful hostesses. Tickets and invitations were very highly prized. Every single duchess who was powerful held her own ball, and they timetabled them during the London season so they didn't clash. So in the late 18th century, for example, I know that the Duchess of Gordon held her ball on a Thursday, but the Duchess of Rutland always held hers on a Wednesday. And before they came together in London, they'd exchange letters to check who had which day and kind of bargain amongst each other because you didn't want to clash. We know from the historical record that some of these parties were incredibly elaborate. They had all kinds of amazing performers. And for the beau monde in particular, the idea of the masquerade ball or the dressing up ball was very common. And people played with different kinds of identity. We had men dressed as women and women dressed as men. And that was very much part and parcel of the kind of social life that this fashionable world was living.
Lady Trowbridge is throwing the best ball ever. This is the kind of ball I would want to go to in real life. It's so progressive. This is a safe environment where one can come and express their inner gender, their inner sexuality, and they can be safe and be free. I mean, since time immemorial, there have been all colours present in human nature, and here it's with abundance. For me, as a movement director, that's very, very exciting because it allows me within the choreography to be far more expressive and encourage my dancers to realise that so that they can express a femininity for the men and for the ladies. They could lead if they wanted to lead. And so it's wonderfully exciting to draw parallels with the modern. Also, the buzz has been really good on set for all the balls that we've used.
I've been quite fortunate enough to do quite a few period dramas, but this one's been great because Jack, the choreographer, has been fantastic at like breaking it really down to like authentic dances from the era. So it's been a challenge, but like a really fun one.
And he's just brilliant. We love working with him, and our rehearsals are so fun, and we practice it over and over and over again, so it's in our bones.
And roll playback. A little bit louder, please. They look like they're enjoying themselves.
Yes, Colin certainly knows how to do.
Keep talking. Amy's brilliant. The part of this crap.
Well, I feel with a lot of these dancers, they're up in the shoulders. I don't know whether that's a period thing, but a lot of what I'm thinking about when I'm actually dancing is raise the neck, and something that we don't do when we're dancing now. It's like this.
It's getting low, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like get low, get head down. But period is very much, it's all here. So mostly now I just feel that I'm thinking about posture more than anything. I think with a lot of these scenes you can be in your head, and when you do something like you add the horse riding or you add the dancing, it takes you out of your head and into the present a bit more, and I think that's really helpful for an actor. There is a lot of one-on-ones and a lot of like you and them in a room. But I think adding an element of this just, yeah, adds something different.
Pretty. It was a pretty.
Hear that?
No, because I meant.
Say that again, Louis?
So, Phoebe, I just want to say that was fantastic. Your dancing was really good.
I'm going to be dangling off this for a little while. It's just my little aerial hoop in my bird cage. I've never had any makeup and hair like this or a wig or anything like this. It's so vintage, like circusy, and yeah, it's really good. I love all this plumage as well because I'm in a cage like a little trapped bird, so I think it's lovely. It's really good. I've got a bird's eye view of everything. It's really fun. It's a really amazing production.
Lots of considerations. So obviously we've got lots of background, so time of getting them ready, lots of cast, big scene, lots of dancing, and then it's just all about time and managing and trying to do it in sections because it's about a 4-page scene, splitting into parts, and then working it through bit by bit. So we've had about 3 big scenes in here with about 5 dancers. But we're almost there. It's Friday. It's going really well.
Okay, we're set and roll playback. And background action, and action.